So, for starters, we are going to begin to look at probably the biggest news that DreamWorks has brought out, and that is our first ever look into their next animated feature. Not Trolls, but the one that's going to be coming up, which is Boss Baby. Now, this is actually pretty interesting. This is a new IP. Technically, it's actually based on a book by Marla Frazee, or I think that's how you pronounce her name. But, yeah, this is going to be the next new IP that DreamWorks is going to be bringing out after Trolls. So, maybe this could be good. Maybe it'll suck. But now they have given us a little bit of an example of what this movie is going to be, considering that they have officially released the first ever teaser trailer. And on this teaser trailer, I'll try to describe the best that I can of what you pretty much see and summarize the whole plot, at least of what it gave us during the less than 2 minutes. So apparently it's about this boy and a family. Like a family. It just has a boy, a mom, and a dad. And you know, they just live a normal, happy life. Everything's going fine. But then the parents brought in this baby, and he looks weird because he was wearing a suit and he even has a briefcase. And like, he always has that smug look on his face no matter what. And apparently the parents come in saying that this is the kid's new brother. And after that, like, the baby just wreaks havoc, and he pretty much dominates the entire house. Like, pretty much having everything about him be featured everywhere and kind of overshadowing the kid in a way. So afterwards, the kid got suspicious, and at first he really doesn't trust that baby. But then one night, he soon discovers that the baby, not only can he talk, but he has this mentality of a corporate CEO. He knew that something really is up with this baby, and I guess during the rest, what they're not showing us is going to be this kid's relationship with this CEO baby, and I guess things will unravel from there. And when I was watching the teaser trailer for the first time, I looked at it and I thought to myself, that's it? I mean, is this really what this movie is about? Like, that's all it can offer? I mean, honestly, it was unappealingly dull. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's honestly such a dull concept, especially one for an animated feature, because in a way, you can technically just make this into a live action film. I mean, other than the baby itself, there's no need to have it be animated. But let's try to construct this. Let's see analytically what the trailer has offered us, not the movie itself, but at least what we see in the trailer. Okay, the story. I honestly do not like this story whatsoever, because this is the same kind of recycled story that you would get in TV shows all the time. Like, this is often an old trope, this plot, where you got this new visitor coming into the household, and like, all the other characters, they grow fond of him, they like him, except for the main character, or at least one of the characters do not trust him. And basically the whole scenario is that the audience knows that something is up with the new visitor, who's pretty much like the villain or something, and they want to root for him, but everyone around him, like everyone around the main character who has suspicions, like, they pretty much treat him like a total dick. Honestly, it's old, it's cliched, and it's just very mean-spirited. Like, I think that's always the best way to describe it. It's like, whenever TV shows do it, it's a very mean-spirited episode often. Because, like, because basically, they treat the new guy with respect, and the person you're supposed to be rooting for as, they treat him like dirt. And this is a little bit of the same thing that you get here. I mean, the parents don't necessarily treat the kid like a jerk, but it kind of has that same scenario. Like, the same pattern goes, like, through and through upon this trailer. Like, you got the kid who's the main character who has suspicions. You got everyone else who loves the new visitor, which are the parents. And you got the baby, who is the visitor, who has something up his sleeve. And with that said, the story, from what I can tell, it's pretty much a dud. In terms of the humor, yeah, it's not all that great. I mean, honestly, I didn't really laugh at this. This is supposed to be a comedy. That's the ultimate goal that it's trying to aim, is to be this hilarious animated comedy. But honestly, a lot of the jokes don't really work. They're supposed to be visual in a sense. Like, a lot of the antics are supposed to be from the baby itself, and all of his mannerisms where, like, he kind of does things on purpose, where, you know, like, when he would snap his fingers, he would just go and cry. And, like, whenever he has his bottle and the mom would reach it, he always slaps the mom's hand. Like, honestly, they're kind of like cheap shots, and honestly, they're not really that funny. I mean, there is one time that I did chuckle a bit, and it was at one point that the kid pointed out that the baby has a briefcase, and it was actually kind of funny the way they animated the baby's expression. He was like, oh god, I hope nobody saw that. You know, honestly, that was the only part that I will admit that was actually well executed. I'll give kudos to the animators doing that scene, but other than that, the humor is not all that great. The animation itself, to that I will say, I get what they're trying to do. It's a little bit like Storks in a way. Actually, very similar like Storks, because you have this theme going on of a baby. But the big difference is that with Storks, you got a variety of characters. It's not just humans, but you also got different animals like wolves and, well, storks, of course. But the big difference is that, like, when we see the human characters, you can see the baby aspects, but they're very subtle. Like, they do have big eyes. Everything about their body is a lot more rounded than usual. So yeah, and basically all of those aspects, like, they're very, like, there are some baby aspects to it, but they're very subtle. In here, in the Boss Baby, they are absolutely not. Like, the eyes are absolutely huge on every single character, not just the baby, but also the kid and the parents. And even when you look at the kid, like, he has these small itty bitty little fingers. So, in this one, they try to push the baby motif a lot more than Storks. But one thing is for sure is that, and this has actually been mentioned before by the director, that they want to go a bit more in the cartoony route. And this is absolutely evident with the Boss Baby himself. You can definitely tell that they want to go in the cartoony route. Well, it's not, like, it is subtle, it's not over exaggerated, but you can see that it is there in a way. It's not too overbearing, but then again, like, a lot of the humor is really dependent on the visuals, and a lot of it is honestly weak. So I wouldn't necessarily blame the animators. They just have, well, honestly, just a script that just seems kind of weak. And then, of course, you do have the characters. And, well, like I said before, a lot, considering that we're dealing with a story that's more of an old trope, we do have the tropes of the characters that are involved with it. The only thing that really is special is the Boss Baby himself, who secretly has this mentality of a corporate CEO, and he's voiced by Alec Baldwin. And honestly, like, maybe in terms of the characters, we don't really have enough to see if they would have, like, a character arc or a development, something that we can gradually see the character have more of a personality to him. But I don't know, these characters are not necessarily as engaging. And honestly, the one big downfall that I got from this teaser trailer itself is actually the whole concept. Like, what makes this trailer stand out from any of the other DreamWorks films out there, or any of the other animated films out there? And so far, the biggest selling point that it's telling me is that it has Alec Baldwin as this corporation baby. And literally that's it. And I just want to say, now, this might sound very mean-spirited. This might sound like I'm completely insulting this movie, like, down to the ground. But I feel like the way that they're trying to sell Boss Baby is kind of the same way that they would sell 9 Lives. I mean, they like the reason why I say that is because they have such a little novelty that they really want to try to push hard to sell it. Like with 9 Lives, you would see it going around saying, "Can we have Kevin Spacey as a cat?" And with Boss Baby, it's a little bit of the same thing. It's trying to sell us by saying, "We got Alec Baldwin as a baby," and that's it. Like literally, that's it. There's nothing that would really elevate it. And honestly, like, if that is the true selling point of this movie, that Alec Baldwin is this corporation baby and nothing else, then I'm sorry, but I don't see why DreamWorks would greenlit this. It's such an absolute weak concept, especially from a corporation that you know for a fact that they can do absolutely better. I mean, even this year, we got Kung Fu Panda 3, and like soon we're gonna get Trolls, and at least I understand why they would greenlit a project like Trolls, because you could definitely tell the amount of imagination put into it. But with this, like, all they got is Alec Baldwin is a baby, and that's it. Like, why? Honestly, this is the reason why I look at this teaser trailer and I don't want to believe that this is really the movie that DreamWorks is selling me. There has to be more to this. And I know this is just the teaser trailer, but I mean, still, like, you have to at least do a bit more to sell us on the idea of what this movie could be. I mean, even Sony did a far superior job with Smurfs: The Lost Village. Like, that one, like, I won't say that, like, the teaser trailer that it gave us, like, for 30 seconds absolutely sold me. It didn't. But at least it got my interest to know a bit more of what it is. With this, however, I mean, it's giving me what I seem to understand. They got Alec Baldwin as a baby. There isn't really a lot more mystery to it. And that's why I feel like this trailer is just so weak that there has to be more than this. It can't just be Alec Baldwin is a baby and now we have our movie. There has to be more. Honestly, it can't be it. I know DreamWorks Animation, and they are capable to bring us something far grand, like much more grand than something like this. I mean, like, what can they do? I mean, honestly, they gotta give me another trailer, because honestly, they really didn't give us much with this. They have to give us a trailer to show us more information in order to sell us the idea of the Boss Baby. Because if this is honestly it, just having Alec Baldwin as a baby, then honestly, we might deal with another DreamWorks bomb, because there really isn't anything to sell. I mean, they gotta do more. I honestly, this can't just be it. So the only way that we'll have to know is that apparently the movie will be coming out at the end of March of 2017, and hopefully we'll get something more with the Boss Baby than just this, because so far, wow, I am absolutely unimpressed. Hey guys, this is Animat. I just want to remind you guys that this is just a little taste of what you can get with the Animation Podcast. This is not all of it. If you guys want to go and listen to the full episodes of the Animation Podcast, then allow me to show you some of the different ways that you can go. First off, you can actually go on the website that it is hosted on, Filmbook, so you can go directly onto there. You can also go and check out the official Filmbook Podcast YouTube page, so at least you don't have to go away from YouTube and you can listen to the podcast right there. But if you would like to listen on the go, like if you want to listen it to on your phone or on your iPad and all that kind of stuff, then you can listen to it on either iTunes or you can listen to it on Android. So those are all the different options, and if you'd like to have more info, then all you have to do is just check in the description down below. And with all that said, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening, and until next time, see you later, dudes!